You guys ready? Good morning. I'd like to call the June 13th, 2018 Planning and Zoning Commission meeting to order. If you would, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Abbott?
Here.
Commissioner Morse?
Here.
Commissioner Brule? Commissioner Gordon?
Here.
Commissioner Walker? Commissioner Beller?
Here.
Commissioner Kelly?
Here.
Commissioner Meal?
Here.
Chairman Azarmi?
Here.
Thank you. We have a quorum.
Thank you. Announcements?
Anyone who has not signed in, please do so at the table located in the lobby. Should anyone wish to speak, please complete a request to speak form, which is also located on the lobby table next to the sign-in sheet. A request to speak form must be completed for each item you would like to speak on. Please note, there are stairs on the right, left, and center aisles, and we ask that you use caution when using the stairs. There is also a ramp located to the audience's left. If anyone has written comments, exhibits, petitions, photos, or letters they intend to present at today's meeting, have 17 copies and give them to a staff member at the back of the auditorium. Staff member, please hold up your hand for the audience. If you do not have 17 copies, you may use the overhead camera to present your documents. Please place your documents on the podium and line it up with the arrows indicated. If you want your documentation to go on record, you must hand them to the clerk after your presentation with the agenda item number clearly marked on the documentation. Members of the public cannot speak to staff members that are seated at the tables with microphones during the meeting. If you have questions, please see the staff member located in the back of the auditorium. All speakers will be limited to 2 minutes to make their presentation statements. Everyone, please turn off all cell phones or place them on vibrate during the meeting. If you must take a call, please leave the meeting area and go outside to have your conversation. We also ask the audience to refrain from talking with one another during the presentations and discussions. Today, the Planning and Zoning Commission will hear public testimony and then forward a recommendation to the Board of Supervisors. Everyone attending the meeting is asked to remember that the administrative building and campus are tobacco-free areas, which means no smoking is allowed from curb to curb. No food or drinks are allowed in the auditorium except for bottled water. If there are any items remaining on the agenda, the Commission will break for lunch for 1 hour per the Chairman's discretion.
All right. First of all, today, I'd like to introduce Larry Morris, a new commissioner, who was approved by the Board of Supervisors on June 4th for District 5. Welcome, Larry.
Thank you.
Today, we're starting a new process where we have call to the public at both the beginning of the meeting and at the end of the meeting. So the first thing we'll do this morning is have the initial call to the public. If there's anybody in the audience that would wish to address this commission, please come to the podium. Hearing none, seeing none, I'll close the initial call to the public and we'll start the meeting. First of all, we need a motion to approve the meeting minutes from the May 9th, 2018 meeting.
Motion to approve.
We have a
Second the motion.
We have a motion and a second by Mr. Abbott. All those in favor?
Aye.
On to the regular agenda, item 1A.
Item 1A is an evaluation of a request for a rezone of assessor parcel number 12005-087 from a CRE, Commercial Recreation Zone, to an RRV, Residential Recreational Vehicles Zone, to allow for an RV subdivision in the Lake Havasu vicinity. The applicant is seeking to subdivide the property into 44 lots with a minimum lot size of 2,500 square feet. We've received one letter in favor of this project. Staff recommends approval with standard conditions.
Thank you. Is the applicant present? Would you like to address the commission? Okay. Applicant does not wish to address. Are there any comments or questions by commissioners for staff? Okay, hearing none. Do I ask for, just ask for a vote? Do I
Yeah,
ask for your recommendation, or you've already stated that?
yeah, I've stated the recommendation. You just asked for a
right.
motion.
Hearing no comments or questions, I'll entertain a motion on this item.
Motion to approve according to staff recommendation.
I have a motion by Commissioner Kelly,
Second.
second by Commissioner Meal. Any other comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Item 1B.
Item 1B is an evaluation of a preliminary plan for London Bridge RV Resort, Tract 3713, being a proposed subdivision located in assessor parcel number 120-05087, being a portion of the southwest quarter, the northwest quarter of the southwest quarter of Section 21, Township 14 North, Range 20 West, in the Lake Havasu vicinity, Mojave County, Arizona. The above item is requested by Gabe Senna of Orion Venture Capital of Lake Havasu, and the project engineer is Peter Profit of Mojave Engineering Associates. The site is located approximately 0.3 miles north of Lake Havasu City, and it is approximately 5 acres to be subdivided into 44 lots. The roadways will be private, and the project is proposed in one phase. Staff recommends approval. However, we have one change to the conditions that we listed in the packet. Condition number 1A is going to be removed. 1A is the developer shall provide curb and gutter improvements throughout the subdivision and as needed in the determination of the county engineer for perimeter and/or exterior roadways. In talking with our flood control department and our public works department, the way the roads are designed, it would not require curb and gutter for drainage improvements. So we move to remove that condition and relabel the following conditions appropriately, moving B up to A, and so on.
Okay, thank you. Applicant is present. Do you wish to address the commission on this item? Okay, thank you. Any comments, questions by the commission? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve per staff's recommendation.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Beller and a second by Commissioner Kelly. Do we need to state anything about the removal of that condition, or that's already been covered in our motion?
Commissioner Gordon, I think if they accepted it as stated by the staff, then they'd be fine.
Okay. All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Item number 2.
Item 2 is an evaluation of a request for a special use permit for assessor's parcel number 12005-213 to allow for a crematory in a C2H highway commercial zone in the Lake Havasu city vicinity. We've received one letter in opposition, and we've also received one informational letter from the installer. Staff recommends approval with standard conditions.
Thank you. Is the applicant present? Would you like to address the commission? Okay.
I'd like to ask the applicant
Commissioner Abbott,
a
yes.
couple of questions.
Couple of questions for the applicant. Would you please come to the podium and state your name and address for the record?
My name is Naomi Marchand, and the address that we have is 3317 Highway 95 North, Lake Havasu City, Arizona, 86404.
Thank you. Commissioner Abbott?
Yeah, this question that I have is because I am not knowledgeable on this process. I do have it set up for myself, but this letter that we got,
Yes.
I read this letter, and she's talking about changing the air conditions through that. Can you give us explain that to me?
Okay, which letter, is it the one? Certainly, is that better?
It's a letter
Yes,
that's
thank you.
it's the objection, and it says, I have respiratory issues along with lung cancer. I certainly do not want to be breathing such and such. So that paragraph, I'm not for it. Again, I'm looking for information.
Thank you. Sure. One of the things that was a huge concern, and I've been doing this for 19 years, and I'm very much about green and the environment. And so one of the things we looked into when we were looking for buying a crematory was to make sure that it was environmental friendly. And so this one is a little more expensive than the others that are in town now, because there is, two in town. One is by a restaurant across from a grocery store. The other one is in some residential area. And the one that we're asking to put in is actually a brand-new model, and it exceeds the standards. So what happens when it's being done is that everything is contained within the machine, so there is no airborne product that goes out.
Is there, I'm sure there is, what kind of, so you have to meet the requirements of the health department?
You have to meet the EPA standards, and this exceeds the EPA standards. And there was a letter that I did send. I think they were sent to everybody. I had forwarded them.
Yeah,
Did you get that? And one of the things when we were doing the research, and so finally on making our decision on which item to purchase, we did get a letter guaranteeing us the quality. And that should have been sent out. I think I sent that on Friday.
you're speaking about the letter from Jared.
Yes, from
Goebel.
Jared, who is actually from Matthew Cremation.
Okay, yeah, we received that.
So that was one of the things in our research that we did, was to make sure that it was environmentally friendly and that there wouldn't be any issues with that, because it's just as important to us.
So when there's a cremation, as you stated, it's all contained within the equipment that you have inside your facility?
Right, there is a chimney stack, but
Right.
that is to release the heat
Okay.
as it's doing. The cremation, they call it a retort. The crematory is actually where all of this process is done is called a retort. And in the bottom half, anything that, if there was any flakes of anything, it all falls to the bottom. So it's not going up into the air.
So there's no exhaust of any sort, just the heat?
It's just the heat. You'll see the heat exhaust, and that's it. But everything else is processed through, because the temperature is 1,700 to 2,000 degrees. So everything really is evaporated within that machine.
Okay.
Does ADEQ license you to do that?
No, what happens is it will be with the funeral board, the Arizona State Funeral Board.
And is there a monitoring system or checks and balances to make certain it's functioning correctly?
Yes, absolutely, and it is all electronic, so this particular one that we're choosing, the two that are currently within the city limits, does not have this. This particular one will be computerized, so you will actually have the person's, their weight, their age, their gender, their height. You put that in, everything's computerized, so that they know. And then there's alarm systems, so if the heat goes too high, too low, if there's any of that. So everything is computerized on the machine.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, may I?
Yes, Mr. Morris.
Yes, could you please briefly describe perhaps the overall facility that you're going to put in? It's just not the crematoria itself? There's
No.
other things that go with it?
No, there is almost 14 acres there. And what we are doing, there's currently a building there that we will be remodeling, and we will have just the funeral home. That will be the offices where people will come in to make arrangements and take care of the necessary business. Then right behind that, we will be building another building, and in there will be the preparatory room, the staff area, you know, for changing into scrubs, doing all of that, the cooler system, and the crematory will all be in that building. And then eventually, we're hoping to expand, so we'll have a chapel and a reception hall, different things throughout with that area. But for right now, that is the two areas. So we're just, there's some quick remodeling to be done on the one, and then that other one will be built. And that was the other thing we did check into the architect that is working on that, to make sure that, you know, fire code, any of that is addressed, because that is really important to us. It's important to the neighbors, and I live in Desert Hills, so.
Thank you.
I've done a lot of investigating on this, and I never asked a question about what this lady addresses, so I think you've clarified it very well. And are those conditions okay with you, Scott, based on the information you have, on your recommendation to approve?
Yeah, Chairman Gordon, Commissioner Abbott, yeah, as long as they meet our conditions, we have our condition of a site plan, which would require that they meet our setbacks and development standards. We wouldn't be checking on anything that the EPA would be checking on, but as far as our standards are concerned, that it would meet our criteria, yeah.
Thank you.
Can I add one thing?
Yes.
I think one thing when you're talking crematories and you're talking funeral homes, you're not only under what the guidelines are for the county or city or wherever you're at, but you also have the Arizona Funeral Board, you have the Health Department, you do have the EPA. So, I mean, there's a lot of checks and balances along that way.
That's wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other, yes,
I have a
Commissioner Meal?
question. Just for sake of conversation, are you having to jump through 2 or 3 sets of hoops, one for the Lake Havasu and the county, or is it just the county?
No, just the county.
Okay.
Any other questions for the applicant? Thank you for.
Thank you,
time.
Commissioners.
Commissioners, discussion, questions for staff? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve for staff recommendation.
I'll second it.
I have a motion by Commissioner Abbott, a second by Commissioner Beller. All in favor? Aye. Motion passes. Congratulations. Item 3A.
Item 3A is an evaluation of a request for an amendment to the Mojave County General Plan for the east half of Assessor Parcel Number 317-04298 from an RDA, Rural Development Area Land Use Designation, to an SDA, Suburban Development Area Land Use Designation in the Mojave County general area. This item is requested by Kathy Taggett Hicks of KTH Consulting on behalf of Mark Jolly of Easter Acres LLC of Goldendale, Washington. The applicant is seeking to amend the Mojave County General Plan to allow for a minor land division. Staff recommends approval with the following conditions. 1, the Mojave County Plan for APN 317-04298 shall be changed from an RDA, Rural Development Area Land Use Designation, to an SDA, Suburban Development Area Land Use Designation. And condition 2, the applicant shall provide the subject property with a bladed physical access roadway traversable by a 2-wheel drive passenger vehicle for each parcel resulting from the proposed minor land division, and from that site to the southeast corner of Section 5, being the intersection of Joseph Road and 9th Street, within roadway rights-of-way or roadway easements.
Okay, thank you. Is the applicant present for this item? Applicant is not present. Any comments or questions by the commission?
I have one question for staff.
Yes.
In looking at what we're furnished here and knowing that area a little bit, all of that area surrounding this, the smallest parcels are 5 acres, is that correct?
Chairman Gordon, Commissioner Abbott, there are smaller parcels in the area, but the majority of those were platted back in the 1930s to 1960s, which predates our department and our regulations and all that. So the area is overwhelmingly RDA, which is above 5 acres.
But looking at the plat, I guess, that shows that there are a bunch of 1 acre parcels
There are 1 acre
throughout
parcels
the
in
area.
Yes.
Okay. Other questions? Hearing no further questions, I'll entertain a motion on item 3A.
Motion to approve according to staff recommendation.
Second motion.
I have a motion by Commissioner Kelly, a second by Commissioner Abbott. Any other comments? A vote, please. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Item 3A passes. 3B.
Item number 3B is an evaluation of a request for a rezone of the east half of Assessor's Parcel Number 317-04298 from an AR 5A Agricultural Residential 5 acre minimum lot size zone to an AR Agricultural Residential 1 acre minimum lot size zone to allow for a minor land division in the Dolan Springs vicinity. Staff recommends approval. We're also going to add that same condition, number 2, from the plan amendment to our rezone as well, about the physical bladed access to the properties. But staff recommends approval.
Thank you. Same applicant who is not present on this item. Any comments, questions by commissioners? Okay, hearing none. Pending that addition of that condition, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve for staff recommendation.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Abbott and a second by Commissioner Kelly. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Item number 4.
Item number 4 is an evaluation of a request for a rezone of Assessor's Parcel Numbers 324-09283 and 284A from an RM 20M Multiple Family Residential 20,000 square foot minimum lot size zone to a C2H Highway Commercial Zone to allow for auto sales in the Kingman vicinity. This will allow for an expansion of Freedom Auto Sales, which is currently operating. Staff recommends approval.
Thank you. Is the applicant present for this item? Seeing none, I'll open it up to any comments or questions by the commission. No comments, question. Mr. Abbott.
I watched that facility being built. I've seen that business there, been there for a few years, Freedom, and I've talked to people that work there, and it looks to me like a very good operation, and what they want to do is expand into the lot next to them. So I would make a motion to approve this per staff recommendation.
Thank you for that insight and for the motion. Do we have a second? Or any other comments first, I guess?
Second.
If not, we have a second motion by Commissioner Abbott and a second by Commissioner Kelly. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Any monthly reports or other items by staff? None. Commission, any commissioner comments or items to discuss?
Chairman Gordon, if I
Yes.
may, just to bring to the commission's attention, this afternoon at 2 o'clock, there will be some state representatives here holding a hearing on water issues for Mojave County, and that'll be for, water issues ranging from Colorado, the CAP issues going on, as well as for issues here in the Wallapai Aquifer. So we would encourage any and all to attend that meeting and share your concerns with our representatives.
Be here in this room?
It'll be in this room, that's correct.
Wonderful. Thank you for that update. Is that available live online as well?
It will be online as well.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you for the heads up on that.
It's an important issue.
It is a very important issue.
Very important issue.
Definitely would
Very important.
like to hear how that goes, and maybe we can get a report to the commission at the next meeting as to how that went as well.
We'd be happy to.
Thank
Who
you.
do we have here, Tim, that's going to be representing the county? Board of Supervisors, some of them, or?
My understanding is that the board will be here, most of the board will be here, if not all. A number of elected officials will be here, prepared to speak. I know County Manager Hendricks will be speaking. I believe the Economic Development Director, Bennett Bratley, will be speaking. I believe Jenny Kinch. There's a whole, I know there's a number of people.
Good representation, you think, for it?
I think the more we can get, the better, to really show the importance of the issue for the county.
Thank you.
Absolutely. What time is that?
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock?
Today
I
here.
have a
Thank you.
question. Would you happen to know off the top of your head if any members of CRIT is going to be there?
I don't know that for certain.
Indian tribes.
Oh,
For the record, I'll be there, so.
So will I.
Very good.
Representing
Wonderful.
Nomad Realtors.
Yes, it's a very important issue, so appreciate the heads up on that. Thank you. Last item is a final call to the public. At this time, I'll open it up to anybody in the audience who wishes to address the commission. Seeing none, I'll close the call to the public and entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
We stand adjourned.
Thank you, Michael, for your help, and have a nice day, Commissioners.
Thank you, Maddie. Take care. Travel safe.
I think Maddie's been replaced.
Well, see you in Michigan then.
That's from